I thought having a girlfriend would make me focus more on business, but I realized you have to set boundaries. In the beginning in a relationship, you want to hang out with her a lot more. You actually have to not hang out. You have to force yourself not to hang out with her. What changes once you get a girlfriend? What is actually going to change in your life, do you feel like? Happiness, obviously emotional, but once you got a girlfriend, your life will become easier because you can just message her, hey, I'm gonna message you later. Let's talk about the Dodgers game, and then you're gonna go to sleep. What if she wants to come over? Wait, you think a girl, my last experience with my girlfriend is if she wants to talk to you, this is what she told me. You always hang up the phone when you want to hang up. I want to talk to you still. So what do you do when you do that? So the interesting theory about this is right now you have regs who really like you. So you're able to set boundaries because you don't put that much emphasis on what you care. So it is true. I do think guys, when they set boundaries because they don't care about losing the girl, they're able to maintain that frame and the girl's able to submit to that frame. I made a video about passport bros yesterday. Like, yeah, Western girls are not submissive. If they love you, they're willing to change for you and do whatever you want. But here's the thing. These Asian countries follow suit with the Western countries. So the more money that a country has, the more opportunities, the woke culture is going to have in Asia happening where you know how the pendulum swing in the West, where now like girls should or kind of want to be more feminine, less masculine, but there's still the woke movement, but it's less than before. He was saying how Western women are less submissive, right? So you're saying that these current girls who like you, but let's say you date a 7 or 8 to feel normal and have a girlfriend. Let's talk about this real quick. I think we went over relationships, but this is important because I'm starting to understand where you're coming from. This is where I had to learn. I learned this more from going through this with friends. With women, I'm able to dominate their frame because when they fall in love, they are agreeable with you. I created this GPT, this where I was trying to break down like how do I become friendly with dudes, like or just people that I want to be friends with because I was struggling with. I realized you could turn your energy on and off, all that kind of stuff. I was like, bro, I don't know how to do this. I broke it down. Let me just share that thing with you because you kind of see where I created my relationship slides from. So it's like I want to base it on science. Okay, so let's see if it's here on how to deal with people. So you could kind of break it down with me. Let's see if you agree with me or not in terms of relationship breakdown. Because one thing I was struggling with is like, bro, how do you be friends with everyone, right? Especially when you're trying to work on a business and get to know them. How do I even become friends with people, right? Especially if I don't agree with them and I want my needs met and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, what do I do? That's something I really struggle with. I don't know how to maintain my needs when it comes to friends and all this stuff, right? So let's just start with the basics of friendships. Building genuine connections in today's world can feel challenging because we're basically trying to have their expectations met. We want what we want. So right now you're doing that with the girl. You said, hey, here's your expectations. You want a good looking guy. One thing we have to admit is you're projecting your thoughts on what women want. We always do this to other people, even for guy friends. I projected my own friendship values on other people. And when they didn't meet those values, I got really butthurt. I realized that's not fair. So that's something we do to women. We're like, wait, you're this kind of girl, so you want this kind of stuff, right? One thing you're doing is you're projecting that once I get in a relationship, everything's gonna get easy. But it depends on her framework on how she sees the boyfriend. If she's really needy, that's why when you always say a 7 is just pure looks. We don't know what kind of girl she is. So this is where you're practicing emotional intelligence. So how do you use feedback without losing yourself? This is about when feedback. How do you attract the right people instead of chasing? Because right now, we'll admit, you're kind of chasing for the girls you want, right? Here's what we need to first figure out. We don't know what these 7s or 8s value. You're thinking right now, it seems like you think the 7 and 8s, they value purely looks, but we don't know because we haven't literally talked to 7s and 8s. And for me, when I talk to 7, 8, not all of them care about looks as much. It depends on what their lifestyle is. So if she's a Russian girl who likes to be taken care of a lot, then in Dubai, especially Dubai girls, want more money, right? But if you go to Bali, the fitness stuff, it depends on what they want. There's a girl I'm talking to, so she's getting financially taken care of. So I had to figure out, okay, she's financially taken care of. Instagram takes care of her social value. What does she actually need? So I found out it's emotional. She wants to be able to have a genuine conversation with a guy, right? But you're right. She has her other needs met. So I feel like you're somehow going for girls who only care about looks. So you're saying your physical look is not catching attention either in online dating or cold approach. You feel like your first impression is always going to be looks. So we broke this down kind of scientifically, but what's a seven guy? Like, is there a celebrity that you think is a seven or what? I know what a 10 version of me looks like, right? I 100% know how I look like if I'm a 10 version, right? I have all the financial abundance. I have a great relation with my family. I'm not going to change my looks. I'm not going to get plastic surgery. But I know what a 10 version looks like. What's a 7, 8 version of you? What does that look like to you? What more do you have to look like for you to be a 7 version of you? That's very positive, though. So is that the only thing that's stopping you from getting sevens? I feel like once you get that physical stuff, you're going to get it. Are you saying you're going to get it more through online dating or through cold approach? Okay. So you think as a 7 version of you, you're gonna go on Instagram and just DM a girl and you're gonna go on online dating and you get more matches that are sevens. What if I told you that's not true? What if I told you that doesn't happen like that? Would you believe me? I usually see good looking guys settle for uglier girls. Like usually it's less attractive girls who approach the uglier guys. And then sometimes I see ugly guys. So how do you explain ugly guys with hot girls? What's your theory on that? So how do you explain some of these guys? You know Jason Kelsey from the Eagles? So you know his wife, she's pretty decent looking. Like I think she's pretty hot, and the guy's kind of ugly. But she's not ugly, right? She's attractive. Who's a football player who's not attractive, but he has a hot girl? Jason Kelsey, I don't think is a good looking guy. I think he's a chubby guy. That's obviously status, right? He's a football player, and that's why he gets girls, right? Or you see some hockey players get girls. With the looks part, you're gonna get there. But then what if you find out that looks is not the only thing that stops you getting from sevens? Because you want to be in a relationship with these girls, right? So do you know what a 7 wants in terms of emotional needs? So you know you're like me when it comes to coaching. I truly believe that I have one of the best coaching products out there in terms of pure results, right? And I really know how to help people with Instagram, online dating, even the way I'm using AI. I really believe that I can help someone, right? But then when I talk to some clients and they come on the call with me, they don't agree with me, right? They sometimes say it's too much money for what you're charging and whatever, or they're just saying, "Ah, I don't know if online dating is for me." So what I realized is that sometimes I used to force my belief system on them. I was like, this is why you still need Instagram and all that stuff. Even like JT, I try to force it, but they wouldn't come around until they were ready to do it and they saw some results from it. I'm not going to change your mind about this. But one thing I want you to just be open minded about, what is something that you can add to your looks? We all know that. But I just know for sure that looks is not going to be the only thing that at least keeps these girls. We need to figure out why they want to be in a relationship. Have you ever thought about why girls want to be in relationships, especially the girls that you're trying to date in LA, not from another country, but girls from LA born in America? Have you asked them? Even though you're not giving them the emotional needs sometimes where you set boundaries. But if you talk to them about your insecurities right now, what would they think? Yeah, they think you're gonna be crazy because you're doing these calls. So there's a that's kind of ashamed of pick up, like you're learning these dating coaching stuff. You're embarrassed by it. I guess you said you're ashamed. So you're doing this stuff to get the result. But really, to be honest, you're not enjoying the journey. It's just like once I get the result, I'm done. Like I just want the result. That's where you're kind of at right now at this point. So this is where I'm gonna give you an honest suggestion. I'm not gonna try to sell you on more coaching. This is where maybe after Latin tour, this is what I think you should do. Have you ever reached out to like matchmakers, those like, expensive matchmaking people who set up dates with high quality women? Nothing about matchmaking. You're totally against that. I've heard about this about very rich people. They pay for escorts because they rather not deal with the bullshit approaching a girl, courting her, and then have sex. He just makes it transactional. And that's where a lot of girls actually, I had a hookup relationship with a sugar baby. She said most of these guys, they just want to have someone to talk to and not make all this effort. They rather just pay for it and make that relationship work like that. I strongly go against that because then you'll make the relationship with women mostly transactional. And I think that's a very, not dark road, but it gets very like interesting where you don't know if she likes you or she's playing fake to like to say that she likes you, right? Because you're paying her for her time. So it's like it's like kind of like, you know, because that's how I felt with some dating coaches where I feel like you genuinely feel like you're just helping me because I'm paying you. But usually the coaches who really care, those are the ones that you feel like, okay, this guy cares, right? So I feel like with you, honestly, Alfredo, I probably can't change your mind because I think you are strong in this. But for you to be normal, how'd you get your last ex-girlfriend? You had to do the first date routine and stuff, right? Well, Why don't you just date one of your recs then? Seriously, and see where it goes. Yeah. So here's my question though. Why'd you get into pickup actually, or the game? Why'd you reach out to JT? Here's a two-part. Do you feel like right now, with the coaching you're getting, even with the Land Tour, what we've been doing since Euro Tour and the whole thing, I feel like I know the answer because I hear your frustration, but I want you to be honest with me. Do you feel like right now you are not getting the results you want? Right now, you're not getting the results in your dating life you want. And obviously, as a coach, you're at this point and you made changes to get to the second point. So obviously, I am trying to implement, give you tactics and tools to help you get there, right? So the second part question is, have you been using any of the tools like Instagram, helping you get on Raya, helping possibly with AI stuff, or the new Instagram teaching on how to do new content? I know you've been trying a little bit, but if you're honest with yourself, have you been giving it 100% attention and focus? I know you're busy, but have you been giving the 100% focus to make those changes dramatic as you did when you first started out? So here's my question to you. Do you think that Michael Jordan and even Kobe, let's talk about just the Kobe Bryant era, because I'm a Kobe fan, so I know this. Do you think even without Pau Gasol or Phil Jackson, right? Do you still believe that Kobe Bryant, let's say both of them didn't come, or no, Pau Gasol, let's just say Pau Gasol didn't come. Because remember, Chris Paul was supposed to happen too. If Pau Gasol or Andrew Bynum, right? Because the crazy thing about Andrew Bynum is he had no career after the Lakers too, which is crazy, right? If Kobe Bryant didn't have Pau Gasol, do you think Kobe Bryant will still found a way based on his inner belief and his mentality to still win a championship? And who else do you think has that same mentality? Like, no matter what, even if he didn't have these certain players, right? Who's another GOAT will feel like he would have won legit a championship no matter what in his career if he just stuck to it no matter. He might have won less if he had less talented, but because of his mental will, he changed people around him. Who else had thought like that? No, no, no. LeBron's the worst choice you could have made. Joined other people. This is why LeBron will never be my GOAT. He joined another superstar. He joined Michael Jordan and Kobe. Because here's a difference between you, Michael Jordan, and Kobe. They found out they can't really blame outside of them. They didn't blame the coaching. They didn't blame their players. But even Michael Jordan, he developed what he already had. So he developed Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan still had a standard for his players to keep up. If they didn't, he would fight them. He would make the people around him better in his own way. So with you, what can you do now to use the most out of what you have now? Because we can't blame your looks. We can't blame all this outside stuff that you can't control. You can't blame girls. You can't blame your friends. You can't control all this outside factors. You can't blame your work. You still want to change the situation you're in now, right? You still want to change it. You're not happy with it, right? Are you open to other states, other cities, possibly date girls there? Because like, obviously, what if they live in San Diego? So you're very successful with friends, right? You seem like you have a lot of friends. Like a lot of people are friends with you. Can I ask you a personal question? Well, how are you so successful in that? Like, why are you so good at having friends? What value do you bring to them? Like most guys respect you, but they also look up to you when it comes to your friendships, right? That's why you're able to maintain that frame and just being around you brings value to them. Okay. So you actually find out what they want and make an effort to give it to them, right? I want you to listen to how you talk about women though. The first 30 minutes of the conversation was about what she could do for you. There was nothing about, well, I'm going to set boundaries. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And just going to say yes. And I'm going to follow after. So what if there's a possibility that right now you're just focused so inward when it comes to dating? That's all about what you think they like, right? You think they care about looks. You think they care about this, but maybe you haven't listened. Maybe with your ex, you just do kind of a test of what do women want in a relationship? And is it something that you can actually give to them? Because if you're not getting these girls that you truly want, you probably don't know your target audience yet, which I'll help you figure out. But the question is, are you actually giving them what they want, or you're giving them what you think they want instead of what they actually want? And like the girl was pretty much in, but then her friends took her away. When you start figuring out what the girl wants, they do want you. But these sevens or eights or nines that you're talking about, the issue is not actually you. It's just that you don't know what they want. I'm telling you that they need something from you to show them consistently that, oh, hey, my life is missing this. oh, this guy, I could do it. But right now, you're not really going out to talk to these girls a lot every day, right? But with Instagram, I'm just noticing you're not posting a lot of the stuff that we could post. So I think if I could, I can't post for you, right? If you could find a way for me to help you market yourself more while you're doing your own stuff, or I could do that for you if you want me to manage your Instagram. You need to put yourself out there more because there's no part of you that's marketed out there for a girl to see how awesome you are. Even the family video wasn't posted because you said, no, I don't look good. I know you did the house video, but even Apple has consistent commercials, consistent posts. Companies, Nike, they're always posting, there's a new marketing campaign. But right now, I feel like your marketing campaign completely stopped. And I'll help you with that. I just need to know. Look how his potential is so good, dude. Yeah, right here. So I just created this for him. I think he has a chance to be really good looking. So I enhanced this photo first. So now I know how to enhance it through AI. And now I got him. This guy, he has a lot of work, but he has good mentality, bro. He's on Ozempic. On that note, I was going to show you. I'm frustrated with students because I'm like, wait, I don't know what he wants, right? You know what I mean? Because human behavior is really clouded by emotions. Students frustrate me because I don't know exactly what you want. If I knew exactly what you want, I could help you get there. But I realize I need to use GPT to give you guys the exact underlying message, what you guys are telling me to do. I don't know human behavior because, to be honest, you guys are both more attractive than physically and younger right now. Like, one thing about game that surprises me is miracles happen. One of my students, JT, was giving a shit. He's only getting Asian girls. He's getting a girl from St. Louis who's a hot white girl to fly out because she's a pilot. The difference between you and him, you guys are both confident, but he's a little bit delusional confident and he always sees the glass half full. So he's not a realist. He's a rational. No, he's not a rational optimist. He's a little bit too optimistic sometimes. Like, he does crazy shit. I'm just like, bro, you're crazy. He's like, I'm getting hot matches. And I saw his girls. I was like, do you believe you can do better though, honestly? And he's like, yeah, honestly, I think I could do better. He has that delusional confidence, right? A lot of sports players, they have this. I've been studying sports psychology from Tom Brady, Greg Harden. He's the one who helped Tom Brady in Michigan to take the most of what he had. You're kind of like Tom Brady in Michigan. 7-round string quarterback, kind of being doubted upon, even though you're a good player. Short. It's really good. I strongly recommend it. It's called Greg Harden, Tom Brady, Social Psychologist. It's a great mentality book. It really helped me overcome a lot of insecurities about myself because I always felt like I was the underdog. So it's a great book about doing with most and being the best with what you can have. If you actually listen to Tom Brady, he was a pick 199, bro. But he was doubted his whole life. He was doubted his whole life. And he became the GOAT. And the Michigan guy also coached Michael Phelps. Oh, Staying Sane in an Insane World by Greg Harden, Tom Brady forward. Audiobook is better. His voice is good. He just passed away too, so I think it's a great book. He's to the point. And you'll know some of the athletes he talks about. He worked with a lot of studs. Who's that cornerback? Charlie Ward? Or whatever his name was. So it's a great book of how he takes people who are also successful, but like the mental belief systems he creates. Tom Brady, the fact that he got Tom Brady to not leave Michigan. Most people would have left Michigan. Seriously. But he didn't because of Greg Harden. It's a great book. So can I ask you for one homework then? Can you give me one thing and just help me remember the book too with ChatGPT? Can you test every time you finish the book, the audiobook it, sending me a voice note about what you learned from the book?